Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling a really thought-provoking concept. It's a ground-up reimagining of our education system, actually sparked by a fascinating vision from one of you listening.
Exactly. We've been looking through some detailed personal notes, and they outline this, well, complete transformation.
Right, of how we approach learning.
Yeah.
From the very beginning, early years, all the way through university.
Yeah. So our goal today is really to explore the core of this ambitious idea,
Unpack it a bit.
understand its key components, and really dig into the potential shifts it envisions in how we learn and grow.
Okay, so let's unpack that starting point. The listener, they're quite clear. They don't think the current system is like a total lost cause.
No, it's more about reform.
Yeah, reform. A fundamental reshaping, not just, shutting it down.
Which suggests right away that they see the core value in education.
Definitely. Just maybe not happy with how it's structured right now.
And what's intriguing is where they start. They immediately focus on the university model.
As a kind of blueprint.
Kind of, yeah. As the potential blueprint for this whole reform, they propose a system where educators, teachers, they get significant freedom.
Freedom to do what exactly?
To design and teach their own courses, driven by their specific expertise, their passion for certain subjects.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting. And this university model, it has some pretty distinct features they've outlined.
It does. Firstly, the courses. They're under continuous evaluation, based on feedback from graduates, real comments, specific feedback.
Okay. So it's not just ticking boxes.
Not at all. And this feedback, it directly influences how courses get adapted, improved.
And crucially.
And yeah, it even plays a role in how teachers are compensated.
Right. Directly linking their payment to the perceived impact and quality.
It introduces this really powerful element of direct accountability. Responsiveness, too.
You'd think so. That tight connection between student outcomes, their feedback, and teacher incentives.
It could be a real engine, couldn't it? For ongoing improvement, maybe new approaches to teaching.
Absolutely. And who gets to teach in this system? Is it just current university profs?
No, the listener envisions it being much broader, open to basically anyone with a master's degree or a background in education.
Wow, okay. That could lead to an incredibly rich, diverse range of instructors.
You'd think so. Imagine the specializations. Very niche areas of knowledge could suddenly become available.
Yeah, things you'd never find in a standard curriculum.
It certainly points away from that one-size-fits-all approach, towards something much more tailored.
To individual interests, yeah. Driven by the student's own curiosity.
And in this model, the student becomes, well, much more active, right?
Charting their own journey.
Exactly. Picking their path, selecting teachers whose style or expertise really resonates with them.
And the ranking system helps with that choice.
Yeah, that's the idea. Fueled by the graduate feedback, it acts as a guide, highlighting courses and instructors that have, proven effective.
So higher education in this vision becomes this dynamic marketplace. Knowledge driven by student demand and teaching quality.
As assessed by those who've been through it.
Okay. But the listener doesn't just stop at universities.
No, that's just the start. They propose taking this exact same model.
And applying it where?
Well, much more broadly. Connecting it to the bigger picture, the idea seems to be a consistent philosophy across all learning stages.
So you mean like high school?
High school, middle school, even elementary school. Replicating this university-style system right down the line.
Now hang on. That's where it takes a really radical leap, doesn't it?
It does.
Especially when you think about early childhood education.
Mm-hmm.
The listener's vision involves, well, getting rid of traditional schools altogether.
The complete elimination, yeah. That's the proposal.
Okay. Why? What's the driving logic behind such a massive shift?
The notes suggest the main motivation is to let kids engage with what we currently think of as university-level courses.
But from a much, much earlier age.
Exactly. The thinking seems to be that traditional schooling might be a bottleneck.
Or just a slower route.
A slower route, perhaps, to getting at more advanced specialized knowledge.
Wow. It's a really disruptive idea to consider. Imagine a 6-year-old, exploring astrophysics fundamentals.
Or advanced math concepts, yeah. Guided by an instructor they pick based on reputation among, say, slightly older kids.
Who've taken the intro stuff. It raises huge questions, doesn't it?
About all our assumptions, really. About when kids are ready for complex ideas.
And whether our current age-based system is actually the best way.
It's a challenge to that, but importantly, the listener does acknowledge a vital piece: social development.
Ah, okay.
Friendship, crucial need for friendships, social interaction. They haven't overlooked that.
So how do they address that if there are no traditional school buildings?
Well, their proposed solution is to maintain that core university-level learning structure.
Okay.
So the physical school buildings might disappear, but the course-based, teacher-led learning guided by rankings, that continues.
Somewhere else.
Presumably, yeah. Happening in different community settings, maybe different locations.
So the social side isn't inherently tied to the building called school?
That seems to be the view. It would need to be actively cultivated through other means.
Within this sort of university-style framework, but for younger kids.
Right. It makes you wonder what alternative environments or, mechanisms they imagine for fostering those social bonds.
Okay, let's quickly recap the essence of this really provocative idea. We're looking at teacher autonomy. They design their own courses.
Right. Students choose their paths, their teachers.
Then there's the performance-based ranking system, driven by graduate feedback.
Which influences the courses and teacher pay.
And then the really big one.
Yeah.
Extending this model all the way down.
To the earliest learning stages, yeah. Even suggesting we move away from traditional schools entirely.
In favor of kids engaging early with university-level content.
What's particularly fascinating, I think, is just the sheer audacity of it. Moving directly to that university-level structure so young, it really challenges our deeply ingrained assumptions.
About the necessary steps in education, the right time for complex subjects, all of it.
Definitely.
So this deep dive, it really leaves us, and you, with a pretty significant question to mull over.
What is the fundamental purpose of education?
Is it primarily about, structured knowledge passed down in specific age groups?
Or could a system like this more flexible, interest-driven, performance-assessed?
Or even one that completely reimagines the social side of learning?
Could that offer a more powerful path for individual growth, development?
It certainly gives you a lot to think about. Thanks for exploring this pretty radical vision with us today.